Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Throwing now is Mahomes. Screen play, McKinnon. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Throwing is Mahomes on third. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick. So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
Yeah, that's one where you turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
As we check the next-gen stats, you'll see he had precious little time to do anything with the football there. Hurts and the Eagles come up here first and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So now first and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 42-yard line. Down to about the 37.
I feel like I can see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
The quarterback got away with one there. Looked like he was in line for a pick, but instead it's knocked harmlessly to the turf.
Hurts sets up to throw it. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. Off the play fake. Here's Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. 30 yards. And the Eagles are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym, preparing for the fight. Now we get to it all loose.
5 plays there on that drive. And the drive was all finished off on the touchdown catch by Dallas Goedert. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. KC's offense ready to take over. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They trail early on in their Super Bowl as they come up first and 10. Meanwhile, Mahomes throw into the hands here of Hardman. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, first and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Locates Hardman for another catch. So the completion good for 7 there. And it'll be second down. Mahomes now to throw. Pass on the out route caught by Smith-Schuster. Mahomes finding Juju there for the Kansas City first. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A big play there for KC. 45 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. Hands it off out of the gun. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. One quarter done, 3 more to play. And we are back and ready to go for the second quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Second down and goal. Mahomes to the right side. It's Kelsey. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's third and goal. They'll try to run this one in. Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain on the play, and what to do now on fourth and goal. Running it with a fullback Burton. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Chiefs are an extra point away from tying up this Super Bowl. Extra point by Butker is on target. And we are tied at 7. So an 8-play drive covering 80 yards. And it winds up with the Chiefs hitting pay dirt. So we'll leave it at 7 now as they kick it away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Play action. Here's Hurts. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. Here's second and 10 now from the 29. They go play action with Hurts. Forced out to his left. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Here's Aaron Sipos out now to punt on fourth down. Back deep is Kadarius Toney. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it's Chiefs football. First and 10. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
As a former defensive back, I've got almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage. 17 on the play. Here's Mahomes to throw. Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. the 44. Mahomes looking for Gray and finding him once again. And he has another first down as he'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. Now it's Mahomes again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. When I looked down, he was kind of shaking his head right after he threw that pass. What did you see?
Well, from a defense's perspective, anytime you have your eyes back towards the quarterback, you're in a position to make a play on the ball, whether it's a big-time play by you or an overthrow by the quarterback. You have a much better opportunity.
They'll start with the option. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. On 2nd and 12, Hurts. That is caught. It's the tight end Goddard. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. First down now, but that clock rolling. Hurts a handoff to Sanders. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Throwing is Hurts. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 36 yards. And the Eagles will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was finished off by a touchdown from Devontae Smith. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. The Chiefs going to go back on offense here late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Flush to his right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. And I think you'd have to say their coaching staff, all things considered, had to be pleased with their performance in the first half of this Super Bowl.
Definitely pleased. Doing their best not to show it to their team, of course, because as you and I both know, their mantra all season.
He's got a man complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. Sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And he made that look effortless, didn't he? I mean, he's had a great game throwing the football. This is going to add to his yardage total in a big way. It's one thing to be accurate on your short and intermediate throws, but when you're hitting the bombs like those, look out.
Yeah, that throw traveling an even 64 yards in the air. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Running right, here's Sanders. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Good yardage there on first down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making first downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your second down play.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They'll run with Sanders. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Once again with Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Eagles will extend their third-quarter lead here in the Super Bowl. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Taken in at the 3. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads into bigger errors.
Third quarter of the biggest spectacle in sport, the Super Bowl. Thanks for joining us, everybody. 2nd and 10. Mahomes throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time. Now, Charles, remember they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Hurts finding Goddard there. First down, Philadelphia.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Smith. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try to put the hammer down and finish this one off.
But now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Hurts. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 45-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted.
Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed.
And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes to the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point.
Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale.
Throwing now is Mahomes. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Mahomes to throw once more. Eluding the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away.
Oh, that's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
And he'll get nothing out of that one.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And the Chiefs are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And with the scoreboard against them here in the 4th quarter, this was definitely 4-down territory. Really nice job there finding a way to get open, and a really nice throw. That sets them up with 1st and goal.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles force the turnover, and they'll take over at the 10.
This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And some room to work. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. And they're going to speed things up here. Right back to Sanders on 1st down. And he's got some space here. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 45-yard line. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts.
And this one is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd.
Another run with Sanders. And they will stop him short. They get him to the ground at the 27. No first down. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Now, aren't I, though?
Fielded just outside the goal line. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over.
Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the fourth quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall right back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite...
And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted.
Darius Slay with a pick.
And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football.
All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They get this to Smith on the jet sweep, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man. It's the tight end, Goddard. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Touchdown, Eagles. Dallas Goedert, his 2nd touchdown of the Super Bowl. And the Eagles are feeling good as they extend their lead in the Super Bowl.
Well, they certainly have the look of a team with something to prove, don't they? All week, as we prepared for this game, we kept reading about how they said they're going to play a full 60 minutes this week. Has nothing to do with their opponent. No disrespect intended, but they wanted to be people of their word, playing this thing all the way out, trying to finish it strong.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead is now 24. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.